good evening, and welcome to our program Star of the Sea on Maria Visión USA. I am Deacon Carlos Charur.
And I am his wife, Rosalie Cheddar. Each week, we take a close look at one of the many titles of the Blessed Virgin Mary and how it helps us on our journey to our true home in heaven. Today's title is Mother Thrice Admirable of Schoenstatt. This large movement within the church takes its name from the small Schoenstatt Valley on the Rhine River in Germany, which literally means beautiful place. It was here in 1914 that Father Joseph Kentenich transformed a small chapel into a place of grace, where seminarians under his spiritual direction could feel the presence and love of our Blessed Mother, as he had during his difficult youth.
And we will begin with one of the many prayers of the Schoenstatt family. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. O triune God, receive eternal praises for all your great and wondrous gifts and graces, for choosing Schoenstatt as your mother's throne, there to unite us deeply with your Son. Our thanks to you. In Mary you are giving to every man the pattern for his living. She is for all your creatures, barring none, the only jeweled mirror of your Son. With joy we offer you the jubilation, the burning love and praise of all creation. In Jesus' name, with Mary, we adore you, Blessed Trinity, forevermore. Amen.
Our guest today is Father Matias Hualpa, administrator of Blessed Trinity Church in Miami Springs. Welcome, Father.
Thank you, and hello to all the people who watch Maria Visión, and thank you for the invitation. Thank you for having me here. And it's a blessing to be here, and this is a wonderful advocation of the Blessed Mother. I personally have a strong connection with Mary, and especially with Our Lady of Schoenstatt, because she helped me in my vocation journey and in my life. I mean, that's something that I always, without even knowing, because I'm from Argentina. I'm from a city called San Juan, and it's a small city. And when I was 10 years old, we used to receive an image of the Blessed Mother, and I didn't know. I mean, for me, it was the Blessed Mother. It wasn't anything special. Yes, right. It was the Blessed Mother. But we would receive the Blessed Mother, and we would pray the Rosary as a family. That was for a week. We had the image for a week, and then we would pray the Rosary for that week. And on the summers, we would go on vacation to Chile. And in Chile, they had the shrine. So we would go to Mass to this small chapel. Again, I have no idea what it was. I know it was a church. For me, 10 years old, it was a church. So we would go to this small chapel to Mass in Chile, in Viña del Mar. And it always struck me that this small chapel, and then outside we would have the Mass outside. And I always kept that image in my mind, and every summer we would go there, and every time we would go to Mass there. And like 15 years later, I'm in Buenos Aires. By then I've already finished my engineering degree. I'm working in Buenos Aires, and I have a cousin whose wife was very involved with the Schoenstatt movement. And one day I was in their home, and there was a priest from Schoenstatt. And he tells me, why I live in the city, and he said, why don't you go to the shrine in downtown? They have a shrine. And he gave me the address. And he said, it's on this street and this street. I mean, and I was new to Buenos Aires. It was like a month after I arrived in Buenos Aires, so I wasn't very sure where it was. But one day I was walking, and I say, oh, maybe this is where the shrine is. And I was looking for the chapel, because all the shrines are the same in the whole world. Right. I mean, they have the same form, the same inside and outside. The colors of the wood inside might change, but the structure is the same. So I was looking for that, and I could not find it. So one day, like a year after that, I was walking on one street, and I looked at the wall, and there was an image of the Blessed Mother of Schoenstatt. I said, oh my goodness, and I read that this is the shrine. The shrine was inside a building.
Oh, wow.
So on the outside, it was just a building, but you go inside, and then you open a door, and then it was like the shrine inside a building.
Wow.
And that's how I kind of became connected with the movement, and I started learning more about it now, because now I was 26 years old, and so I started going to a young professional group, and that's how I started learning about the spirituality of the movement, and that's how I began my journey more deeply into the spirituality. Just from when I was 10 years old, and I saw this image. Now I was learning about this movement. What was the teachings? What was especially about this spirituality, and that's how that was the beginning of my vocation story, which the Blessed Mother started when I was before my womb, but and God started. Right. But how she kind of accompanied me in my vocation story, because then I made a covenant of love with the Blessed Mother, Our Lady of Schoenstatt, and that's kind of the beginning of a journey that will take me to the seminary.
And it was the same with the founder, Father Joseph Kentenich. He from a very young age, I think 9 years old, he felt the presence of our Blessed Mother, and that always stayed with him.
Yeah, he's actually his mother. He kind of consecrated Father Joseph, little Joseph, to her, just to take care of him, like to be also his mother. So. That's the story of all of us. We're she is our mother. So
like you said, whether we know it or we
don't.
Yes,
she's there walking with us.
Yes.
She is. So it's again, it's looking back. I can see her guiding me, and especially at some point, specific in this advocation of Our Lady of Schoenstatt.
So that was still, you were in Buenos Aires, you were still a professional, because you said you were part of the young professional group, no? And so then, what was the next step?
And then when I came, I came to work here. I applied for a job here in Miami, and this is the core of the spirituality is the covenant of love with Mary in the shrine. So when I came here to Miami, I knew there was no shrine, because you can see where the shrines are in the whole world. Yeah. And I knew there was no shrine in Miami, and I said, what I'm going to do? Because I kind of live my spirituality in the shrine. It was for me it was the shrine was like 10 blocks from the office that I used to work on. So I would go every day after work. I would just stop and say a prayer and then go home. And so I say, how is it going to be living my spirituality without a shrine? So I came here, and I contacted the movement here, because I knew the movement was here. So I contacted the movement here, and the day that I called, the lady that answered, Sara Casa, who is like a great apostle of Mother Teresa admirable. Yes. She tells me, we have just signed we just bought a property in the Redlands to build a shrine. Wow. Would you come on Saturday to help us clean?
Wow. Right on time.
So I said, yes, sure. she gave me the address. This is before GPS.
Right.
But it was internet era, so I look into the internet how to get there.
Yeah.
And I get there, and it's the red land. It's basically avocado farms,
Middle of nowhere.
nurseries, and I was like, "Where is this?" I mean, it's like,
It's not 8-10 blocks from my work.
and the same happened. Like the address they gave me, I was looking, and it was just an avocado farm. I mean, like property. And I went in, and there was nothing there. So at the end, I was like for 20 minutes, and then I looked in front of the property, and then I saw a house.
Oh, okay.
And I went into the house, and it was there. That was the property, and that's the house that's still there. So, so that I started, cleaning the house. And one day they asked me to be in charge of the youth group. So we started a youth group with teenagers, and in Schoenstatt they have different branches. They have the married couples, they have the girls youth, they have the boys youth, then they have consecrated women, consecrated brothers. They have this, of course, the fathers, the Schoenstatt fathers, and the Schoenstatt Sisters of Mary. And then they have the Pilgrim MTA. They call it the Pilgrim Mother Thrice Admirable, which is the image that we used to receive at home. So a person has that image, and then she makes sure that it visits, it pilgrims through different houses, and also to pray the Rosary and to teach families to pray the Rosary. So they asked me to be in charge of the youth, the boys group. So that's how I began to.
Is that like late 90s or?
No, this is
2000?
2003.
2003.
2003.
Yeah.
So I began with a small group in Weston, because they were sons of.
In Weston, wow.
Yeah, because it was sons of families that. Most of the families that come from Chile, Ecuador, Argentina, Brazil, they come here, and then they're involved in the movement in their countries, and they come here and looking for the movement. That's how the symbol of the shrine here in Miami is a lighthouse, because it's like Mary. Kind of the light of the lighthouse. That's Mary, calling all her children to come here to.
The sea coming in.
Yes,
Come to
because
her.
they come from mainly
it.
from Latin America.
Yeah.
So it's like where the shrine is here. So it's kind of the shrine is the image of the lighthouse. Say
And I think the first shrine built outside of Germany was in South America.
in Uruguay, yeah.
Yes.
That's how the shrine originally was a chapel within the Palatine community, which was the community that Father Kentany belonged to, and it was a small chapel that these seminarians kind of cleaned and put it together.
Took care of it, yeah.
Because they were going to go to the First World War. World War.
Right.
So, and again, these are seminarians of between 13 years old and 17 years old. So they were
Very
forced to
young.
go to the war.
Wow.
And Father Kentany, he says, okay, we're going to consecrate to Mary in this chapel, so she can be your protector, and she can be with you in the war. And that's how the movement began, with this group of seminarians that were going to fight in the war, and they basically get consecrated to Mary, and And then after that, they began a journey of a deeper consecration and a deeper self-education, what in the movement is called the self-education, that that Mary is an educator, but we have to give our part and go in that journey of
do our part.
yes,
Yes.
kind of
Exactly.
use all the spirituality to kind of form ourselves. I mean, to allow God to form us.
So then you were saying that it was with a youth group, no? Also that you had
Yes.
in Weston. You were meeting in Weston, but then going.
But then every weekend I was during the week I went to once a week I went to Weston, and we met in houses and. But then on the weekends I was going to the Redlands in Homestead in the south of South Florida.
Yes.
and I was just helping with the masses, with cleaning, with everything that was needed. I was with all the events. They were doing a lot of events to try to build the shrine.
Right.
And so that's how I started. And then one year in 2006, during Holy Week, we went with this group to Texas, because in Texas there's another shrine, and the movement is in San Antonio, in Austin, and it was in Dallas Fort Worth, and in Lamar, which is close to Corpus Christi. That's where the shrine is. So we went with this group, and they have Schoenstatt fathers there in Texas. Basically, the Schoenstatt fathers were in Texas and in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, where is the International Center. And just talking with this priest, I told him my story and all, and he tells me, "Have you never thought about the priesthood?" And I said, "No." And
Somebody else had.
yeah.
Blessed Mother.
I said no, and he told me, "Well, think about it, because you are very involved with the church. You're good with young people, based on your history, And he told me, because back then I was like 32 years old. So he told me, maybe go for the diocesan priesthood, because the Schoenstatt fathers is longer the process. I was in Paraguay, in Chile, so it was more complicated.
Right.
And he said, go for approach the Archdiocese of Miami, and see if this is something that you would like. I mean, it's something God is calling you to do. And that's how I
You entered the seminary.
And the Blessed Mother, kind of took care of that.
Yes.
Now, Father, you mentioned the covenant of love as the center of the Schoenstatt movement. What exactly is that? Is that a consecration?
It is, it's a consecration. It's basically, the idea is, it takes from the covenants of that God made throughout the history of salvation with the people, the Israel, but especially with His Son. And basically, it's an exchange of heart. That's the idea, that I give my heart to Mary, and Mary gives her heart to me. And of course, like in all the covenants, God, in this case Mary, always is faithful.
And we are
We are the
We are
ones
not.
that, some days we are faithful, some days we
yes.
are.
Yeah.
It's our
But
humanity.
but that's
Yes.
how that then the pedagogical part of the spirituality comes into play. That how we remain faithful to that covenant of love, and that covenant of love is done in the shrine. The shrine is a place of graces, and the idea is that whenever you go into a shrine, you feel at home. You feel that sense of being welcomed by the Blessed Mother, because
Which is
you are
why
home.
all the shrines are
this-
modeled on the original. So
Well, yes,
it feels at
that's
home.
so. If you go in Germany, Miami, or South Africa, you enter and you feel home.
Right.
And then there's the other grace that you receive in the shrine through the Blessed Mother is inner transformation. And then the third grace that she gives us in the shrine is the apostolic seal and fruitfulness. That and Father Kenton said, because many people say, I feel, I'm feeling heaven, like a piece of heaven when I'm here in the shrine, and they want to stay there in the shrine, but that's not the idea. The idea is that we go out
back to the world.
go back and
Yes.
evangelize in the world. That's
Exactly.
the idea. That's the grace of inner transformation and apostolic seal is like that.
I know the feeling, especially after a retreat.
Right.
You don't want to leave.
Yes.
Yes, that's
But
usually
it
the
is
case.
so true, because I remember once we went in one of our Bible studies, a priest took us to the chapel. I had been before, actually, when the chapel wasn't there. My mom took me, but that time we went, and it was just so beautiful, because you could feel, like you said, the graces, and the mass celebrated there. It was very renewing. So it fills you up with the graces that you need to continue in the life that we're called to live. Not necessarily always.
But specifically because of that, one of the things that Father Kenton was very, specific and very strong on is that, we have to live our faith in the vocation that we have received, and if you are a husband, you have that vocation, and then you live your faith through that vocation, and then you receive the graces. And that's why even the separation of the youth, the boys and the girls, is because they have different calls, if you will, different vocations. They're both. Some of them are called to marriage, but even marriage, you're a husband or you're a wife. I mean, it's different roles and different things you have to grow into. So that's why it's always what's your vocation and how I live that vocation in my daily life.
So we will take a short break, and we'll be right back on Star of the Sea on Maria Visión USA.